Okay, so today we are breaking down the House of the Dragon trailer frame by frame, connecting it to the Fire and Blood lore, and unpacking what this means for the Dance of Dragons. Because the war has just changed. Okay, this is your boy CB Hayes. This is the Loreverse, and let's dive into this. Now, season 3 of the House of the Dragon is no longer about a simmering tension. It's about total collapse. And the teaser didn't just preview battles, it reveals betrayals, secret negotiations, dragon warfare, and the emotional breaking point of Rhaenyra Targaryen. So, the trailer opens with Rhaenyra telling her council that Alicent Hightower secretly came to Dragonstone, and that is a big deal because in Fire and Blood, Alicent never makes a personal plea like this during the height of the war. If the show is adding this meeting, it's reframing her as someone desperate to end the bloodshed before it actually spirals out. And what are the terms? The terms that Alicent offers to open the gates of the Red Keep and surrender King's Landing. In exchange, her family is spared. Now, this is not just a negotiation. This right here is freaking treason against her own faction. It shows the massive rift between the old guard, which is Alicent and Otto, and the new green chaos, which is Aemond and Aegon. And Alicent realizes that she raised monsters that she can no longer cage. Now, Jace, though, Jace does not trust Alicent, and he should, right? In the book, Jace is one of Rhaenyra's most politically active sons. He travels north to Winterfell to strike the Pact of Ice and Fire with Cragen Stark and to the Vale to secure Jean Arryn. And he understands optics. He understands propaganda. He understands war. He knows that a peace offering from the woman who sat his rival on the throne smells like a green honeypot. And if Alicent is offering surrender this early, it likely means one of three things. She's trying to protect Helena and her grandchildren from the blood and cheese aftermath. Secondly, she knows that Aemond is becoming uncontrollable and bloodthirsty. And thirdly, she fears what is coming, specifically the sowing of the seeds, where Rhaenyra recruits dragon riders of low birth, because something bigger is technically already in motion. And this trailer also shows us that King's Landing is not united, because when Alicent thinks that she can negotiate peace, Aegon the Second Targaryen is fleeing through the forest with Larys Strong. And we hear the chilling line, the king has abdicated the throne. And this is a massive deal. And this is massive because in Fire and Blood, Aegon never willingly abdicates. He clings to the crown even after the horrific injuries. So if he is fleeing, this could connect to the aftermath of Rock's Rest, where he is gravely burned and incapacitated. And this means that King's Landing may be fractured from within, right? Think about the power vacuum here. Alicent is negotiating behind everyone's back. Aegon is running from his life or being hidden by the clubfoot. And Aemond is ruling with an iron fist. That is not a unified green front. That's freaking chaos. And then the biggest deal here is Aemond is on the Iron Throne now. So Aemond Targaryen sits on the Iron Throne. This is Regency energy. In the book, Aemond effectively becomes Prince Regent and protector of the realm after Aegon is injured. But here's the twist. He likely does not know Alicent is offering surrender. And that means that Alicent is undermining her own son. And if Aemond finds out, that's civil war inside a civil war, because Aemond doesn't want peace. He wants to prove that he is the true dragon compared to his brother. We also are seeing scenes of the Battle of Gullet. And this right here is a bloodbath. The trailer confirms the Battle of Gullet as well, because in lore, this is one of the most devastating naval and dragon battles of the dance. The Triarchy, hired by the Greens, attacks, and the Valerian fleet clashes, and dragons burn ships from the sky. Corvus Valerian commands the largest fleet in freaking Westeros, but even the sea snake isn't prepared for the scale of the ambush. But here's the tragic lore detail here. The gullet results in a death that I cannot talk about, but there's a tragic death that will happen. And if the teaser ends with Rhaenyra in tears, and that's all I can say, because something breaks Rhaenyra. And in the book, this loss that we are going to see begins her psychological decline as a person. So she stops being the realm's delight, and she ends up becoming Maegor with teats. Okay. And it's going to get crazy. I'm trying not to spoil, but it's going to get wild. Also, the Blue Queen arrives. We finally see Tessarion, the Blue Queen, the bright blue dragon belonging to Daeron Targaryen. Daeron has been absent so far, but in the book, he fights in the Reach and becomes one of the Green's most effective and loved commanders. And Tessarion is smaller than Vhagar, but incredibly agile, breathing cobalt blue flames. Her arrival signals the war expanding beyond King's Landing and Dragonstone. And the Reach is now fully involved, and the green power isn't just in the capital anymore. Now, there are some new power players that we have seen. First, we have Ormond Hightower, right? Ormond leads the massive Hightower host from Old Town. This means the Green's military backbone is finally moving. Also, we got Roderick Dustin, or Roddy the Ruin, is here. He leads the Winter Wolves, hardened northern warriors who have come south to die for Rhaenyra. We also see Torhind Manderly. Manderlys bring like the heavy coin and naval support from White Harbor. So this is no longer a Targaryen versus Targaryen. This is Westeros tearing itself apart. Daemon's final line, right? The teaser ends with Daemon Targaryen telling Rhaenyra, "This is the moment you become queen." But she's crying. Why? Because in the dance, Rhaenyra does not ascend through triumph. She ascends through loss. Okay? A lot is going to happen that I'm not going to speak about. But Daemon's line here isn't inspirational. It's more tragic. And he knows that to wear the crown, she has to burn away her humanity. He knows what ruling will cost Rhaenyra. I don't think Rhaenyra fully understands what she is losing. And until it happens. And so the Dance of the Dragons is not about who wins. It's about why House Targaryen never fully recovers. And by the end, we're going to see that most of the dragons are dead, and the bloodline is going to be cooked, and the realm is exhausted. And the teaser is setting up the irreversible collapse, the betrayal, the naval slaughter, the dragon duels, and the internal green fracture. Everything we see is accelerating. And so my theory is, in the battle, if the Battle of Golden happens early in the season, then Rhaenyra's descent will be faster than in the book, which means by the season end, we may see her brief paranoid occupation in King's Landing. I think we're also going to see the beginning of her Targaryen madness fueled by grief, and we're going to see the seeds of her ultimate downfall. And the tragedy of the dance is that no one truly wins. And this teaser makes one thing clear: the dragons are about to burn Westeros to the ground. Hope you guys enjoyed this video breaking down the House of the Dragon trailer. Hope you all have a great day. Stay crispy, and peace out.